It's energy, life energy. If you're into yoga, they're going to call it prana. They're gonna use words like ki from Reiki, that sort of thing. Breath. But that really doesn't tell you anything. It's sort of this amorphous definition. Oh, you're going to work with your life energy. That sounds nice, but if you dig any deeper under the surface, you have to go like, how do you do that? How does that operate? So the thing is that the key is really actually in the word itself. I found that the deeper I went into Chinese medicine and Chinese philosophy, the more the things my teachers said to me actually made sense because I started to speak their language. So the word qi, for instance, right, is actually a drawing of a fire, like a campfire, with a pot, well, like a stove, and a pot over top of on the stove. And the pot is boiling water. And the steam is lifting the lid of the pot. If I had a whiteboard here, I'd draw it for you. So this energy that is created, steam energy, that lifts the pot lid, is the quote-unquote qi. That's what they're talking about, is this intangible but forceful thing that exists, right? And of course, boiling water, when you think about when this language comes around, boiling water is life. You don't live if you're not boiling your water, right? You're going to get dysentery and it's going to be bad. So all of life ended up connected, of course, to pots of boiling water in China because it was rice or millet that you were boiling. But this is where the life energy thing comes from. But the thing is, I feel like energy is like not taking it far enough. It's too amorphous. All kinds of energy are actually results of relationships. So two chemicals work together and they release energy. There's still a relationship taking place to create this energy, this so-called life energy, right? So how do you work on your qi? Well, the thing is, the stuff my teachers would tell me, like, I have strong qi, that's why I don't get sick. They were really telling me what they were trying to say. I just didn't understand them. I have a lot of relationships in my body that have been taken care of. I eat well, I sleep well, I breathe deeply, I try not to stress, and thus the relationships in my body are strong, the qi is strong. So when you're doing qigong, the real fundamental of qigong is always to ask what relationship you're working on. Because everybody knows qigong by this sort of esoteric weirdness. That's like, you're going to do breathing exercises. Well, yeah, but like, why? Well, because, for instance, in the case of breathing exercises, if you are a normal person, you tend to breathe about 8 to 16 times a minute. In so doing, you use about 40 to 60% of your lungs. You generally don't breathe very deep. That would take longer. People who don't breathe very deep live shorter lives. If you don't oxygenate your blood, things will deteriorate over time faster, etc., right? So why do you practice deep breathing exercises? Because you're changing the relationship of the oxygen and the blood in your body for the positive. And if you root your qigong training in a place that's that physical and that like tangible to hold on to, then when you start to do the really weird qigongs where you're dealing with your emotions or your mind, or quote unquote using the energy, because it is a thing, you start to understand that this is just a series of relationships and logical questions I need to ask myself.